What's going on, guys? ChillSFM here. The Evolution Cup is here, and I got a strong team for y'all today. I went 18-7 with this team the first day of Evolution Cup. Now that featured elo down there is not all my sets. That's going to be the first 3 sets when I was learning the team, and that's what I'm going to be showcasing today. The last 2 sets I actually went 4-1 in both of those, so I climbed an additional 100 elo there, back in shooting range of expert. So I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to be leading with Shadow Piloswine, using Dusclops as our safe swap against most leads, and then Charjabug in the back. Charjabug actually really good in this meta, especially if you can just get a small energy lead. This thing just goes off. I mean, there's almost nothing that's going to be resisting both electric and bug type attacks in this meta, and it charges up energy pretty quickly since it does have Spark. X Scissor, of course, only 35 energy. It's a great bait move. It's a good bait move. It's not a great bait move because it doesn't do a ton of damage, but at least it does get that same type of attack bonus. We're going to be jumping on into some of these battles so you can see how this team works. Hit that like button if you don't mind. I really would appreciate it. And let me know, have you been enjoying this meta so far? Or is there anybody out there that's still playing in Open Master League right now? Because I'm kind of interested to see that if people are choosing to play in Open Master League now that there is a Great League meta. I know some people do really like it, so let me know. Alright, so Vigoroth here. 2 body slams are not lethal. We are resisting the counters thanks to our bug typing. Charjabug does actually lose this in the 1 shield, which is kind of awkward. But in the 2s and the 0s, it wins. So it's still a really good Vigoroth answer in my opinion. We're going to be able to get off this next discharge, push them into the red, coming in with the Shadow Piloswine, going to be able to just powder snow down, and Shadow Piloswine with energy is so deadly. Like, nothing wants to eat an avalanche from this thing. And we also got Stone Edge, and in the back they have a Golbat. So they just top left, and that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. All right, moving into the next one, up against the Vigoroth lead. So this is the most common lead that we saw today by far. I'm going to be safe swapping into my Dusclops, and they're going to be bringing out a Dragonair. And this is why you run Ice Punch on Dusclops, because there are so many dragons in this meta, and you're going to be able to take them out with 2 Ice Punches. It really doesn't matter what dragon it is. I think 2 Ice Punches KOs all of them with the hexes. Even, well, I should take that back. What is it? Zwilus. You need to shield, and you will be able to hex down if you can shield the Dark Pulse. But either way, like, Ice Punch, return, that's the way to go with Dusclops if you have it. If you don't have a purified one, like the Shadow one's also really good because you get that Shadow boosted damage. I would not recommend building a regular one without return though, because I think the return damage is essential. So anyways, I got both shields off my opponent, and then I'm dumb and I swap into Piloswine. I thought that 1 avalanche plus like a few powder snows would take out this Vigoroth, but you can see, like, that's aggressive to try to shield and powder snow down. So I go ahead and let it go. I'm like, you know what, Charjabug up 2 shields. We're gonna get a little bit of an energy lead here. There's nothing that resists everything from Charjabug, right? So we're gonna go ahead and shield up the body slam here so that we have a perfectly healthy Charjabug with the energy lead and a shield advantage. And they bring in a Hakumo, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this thing. This thing does resist everything from Charjabug. So going to be firing off the discharge is going to be the more energy efficient move here. They're going to be throwing the Dragon Claw. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up a shield. It would not be lethal from this range. Charjabug is very bulky, like extremely bulky. And we're going to be firing off this next discharge. So this game is not over. These discharges are keeping pace, right? The damage is keeping pace. But I go for the catch, and they read me like a book. They didn't even throw the Dragon Tail there, which is interesting. I think they should have thrown the Dragon Tail, but whatever. And then I throw on alignment here. The game was already over. But yeah, I mean, I just got outplayed here. I got outplayed. I also made a really dumb decision to bring in my Shadow Piloswine when I had shield and switch advantage and a very low health Dusclops. So just make better decisions than me, and you can win that one, right? So I very easily could have had a 20-5 day today. I would say there's probably 3 games that I threw away. That was, of course, one of them. Other 5 were probably just not winnable. You know, every once in a while you do get RPS'd. There's just non-winnable games. But anyways, into this one. Golbat lead, beautiful lead. They're going to be swapping out into their own Dusclops. I'm going to go ahead and chip away with the Avalanche, and they are throwing immediately. If it's Fire Punch, it will hurt, it won't be lethal, but it's just a Shadow Punch anyways, so I'm going to farm up a little bit of extra energy and catch the next Shadow Punch on my Charjabug. Now, like I said, this thing is extremely bulky. This is going to do absolutely nothing. They would need like 5, maybe 6 of those to KO. I mean, with the hexes, probably 5, but regardless, I can farm up a lot of energy here. Here comes another Shadow Punch, no big deal, still above half health. I'm going to be going for the X Scissor here. I know it's resisted, but they're very low, right? They're deep into the red. This should be enough, but it's not. They survive with 1 HP. No big deal. We can eat another Shadow Punch. I guess 4 with the hexes, actually. Yeah, maybe 4 with the hexes. Anyways, we got energy on our Charjabug. If that go back comes back in, we can throw the discharge. They're actually going to be coming in with a Shadow Magneton. Really cool pick for this meta. I actually really like this pick. However, it's made of paper. I mean, resisted discharge from a bulky Pokemon, and we already have them at half health. So Magnet Bomb going to come through. We're going to be coming in now, of course, with Dusclops. They're going to be swapping out into their Golbat. I catch on the Shadow Piloswine, and look at this. It's the Shadow Ball. We just wasted all of their energy. Absolutely beautiful. Going to be building up some extra energy here. I know they have a shield. I know they're likely to shield this Golbat, so I don't throw immediately. Going to throw up my own shield, and they do bait me with the Poison Fang. So great bait by my opponent. Going to be doing one more Hex and throwing the Ice Punch here. I do have the back-to-backs, and they decide to let it go. So in comes the Magneton. Now, Ice Punch is resisted. We know Dusclops does not hit hard, so I'm going to be getting as much Hex damage as possible. Magnet Bomb comes through, throwing one more Hex and the Ice Punch. Now I'm going to be throwing the next Ice Punch immediately because they are one Thunder Shock away from their next Magnet Bomb. I need this to be lethal. Is it enough? Come on, Dusclops, let's do it. And yes, it is enough to take out the Magneton. Thank goodness they were Shadow, but GG's, well played to that opponent. Into the next one, Piloswine up against a Zweilous lead. So all the Dragon type leads are kind of interesting because like you're an Ice type, you want this to be great, but it's not great. But you can make it great, right? Because if they're going to be getting to their Body Slam, Aqua Tail, whatever they're throwing after 6 Powder Snows. And so I always just tap through. Don't throw that Avalanche. They're going to try to CMP you, but if you tap through, you're going to be able to outpace them to the second Avalanche before they get to their next charge move. So that's the way you win this in the one shields. You have to tap on through. If they do throw at proper timing and they only give you one free turn, then guess what? They actually still win it, which is a little bit awkward. But I haven't seen that yet. Nobody has thrown on proper timing against me yet. You know, again, I'm in the 24 to 2500s, up to 2600s today. So if you get into those higher elos, people probably will make better decisions. Anyways, Haunter comes in. They try to catch a Shadow Punch on their Golbat, but I'm not even running Shadow Punch, which is kind of funny. So now they're going to eat this Ice Punch. Does a ton of damage, and we're just going to throw the next one immediately to force that final shield or to take out this Golbat, and they are going to actually let it go. It's a little bit scary because Haunter can come in and get a nice farm down, but they actually decide to throw I think they could have done one more Shadow Claw, but I do think they had to throw. So now Charjabug comes in. We got a shield. We can tank any one move, to be honest. But we get to the discharge. It's CMP. I might as well use the shield. Maybe if this is Shadow Ball, it would be lethal. It's Sludge Bomb. I don't know. I mean, it would do a ton from a Haunter. So anyways, going for the discharge. So we taking out the Haunter. By the way, like Ice Punch, Sludge Bomb. Like, I never thought that I'd see that combination on a Haunter. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. All right, into the next one. Up against a Fletchinder lead. This is a core breaker for this team 100% because both Charjabug and Piloswine do take super effective. However, Charjabug is hitting back for super effective, so they do swap out into a Vigoroth. Very interesting swap by my opponent. I'm going to be eating this first Body Slam. I know it's not lethal, and I know they won't be able to counter me down very easily. So we'll go ahead and eat it. Going to be building up some extra energy and going for the X Scissor now. I don't think this will be lethal from this range, but it should put them in Spark Down range. And it grabs a shield regardless. And they get greedy. We make it to another X Scissor. Does this force the second shield? No, it does not. But they do hold on with 1 HP, or a few HP. But we're going to go ahead and just shield up this Body Slam. We'll take Switch here. Like, we'll take Switch. They're going to aggressively swap in the Fletchinder. I'm going to be coming in with my Dusclops now, and they're going to be throwing some energy. Now, I'm expecting this to be the Flame Charge, right? Fletchinder has Aerial Ace and Flame Charge, but they actually go Aerial Ace, which is interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe Aerial Ace is more energy efficient than Flame Charge. Y'all can let me know in the comments down below, but I think Flame Charge should be the better move, especially since it's boosting the Embers. Regardless, they do call the return bait there, or the Ice Punch bait rather, and now they're going to be throwing again. Now I don't want this to be a Flame Charge, and then we have boosted Embers going to our Shadow Piloswine, so I have to give up my own shield, but I do make it to the next Ice Punch. I'm going to throw it immediately because I really don't know if Legendary counts at this point. I think I could have done one more Hex, but no reason to risk it. Coming in with the Piloswine, they have a Dragonair. I'm expecting the catch. And there it was. We're going to be able to get off this Avalanche now. Looks like it was CMP. So maybe I won CMP. Dragonair is supposed to generally win CMP, but it's pretty close. Either way, should have been able to survive a Aqua Tail from there. So GG's, well played to that opponent. Into the next one, up against a Celio lead. So this is the reason I'm running Stone Edge over Bulldoze on my Piloswine, because this can hit for like a ton of super effective damage. We're going to go ahead and eat the Body Slam here. And now I'm going to be over farming and going for the Stone Edge. Now they're probably expecting this to be a Bulldoze. We'll see if this connects right here. Let's see it. Yes, it does. Puts them deep into the red. And we're going to go ahead and just catch the double resisted Body Slam on our Dusclops. Should be able to Hex down from here before they get to an Aurora Beam. So they're going to be swapping out into a Golbat. So again, this is why we have Ice Punch, right? Ice Punch is just so good. Able to hit these Flyers and the Dragons for super effective. Able to really fight back for Switch. Going to be actually letting this go. I'm like, if it's a Shadow Ball and come in with Piloswine, worst case, I'm going to force the second shield off of them. And they bait me. So now I'm going to go ahead and no shield again because I know this is only going to be the Poison Fang. No big deal. Going to be throwing one Hex and then the Ice Punch. That's how you want to do it, right? You're 3 turns, they are 2 turns. So if you throw after one Hex, you get 3 turns and they get 4 turns. It's only 1 free turn. Coming in now with Piloswine. I thought that I would survive that Poison Fang, to be honest, since it's resisted, but I guess we're both Shadow, so it was lethal. No big deal. I'm coming with Charjabug with 2 shields. As long as we don't see another Hakamo in the back, I think we're going to be in a good situation here. Going to go ahead and use 1 shield on this Poison Fang, and they're going to be coming out with a Vigoroth. So throwing the first discharge, we've already seen this. 2 discharges are not going to be quite enough to KO, but it will be putting them pretty low. So I'm going to be going for the next discharge. Maybe 1 discharge plus 2 X's is the better play here. Not really sure. But I go for the catch anyways, and we're going to catch our second double resisted Body Slam on Dusclops. Beautiful. Now, I'm not able to get off the Ice Punch. Unfortunately, the new game mechanic was not there for me. That's perfectly fine. We can come back in with Charjabug, use our second shield. Body Slam would not be lethal from here. I could Spark Down after eating it, but we'll just play it safe. Now, I know they have the Golbat and they have the Celio both alive. If it's the Celio, we just Spark Down. If it's the Golbat, we have to be aware that they can catch. And it is the Golbat, so I'm going to just keep on sparking. And there was the catch attempt. Now we got the discharge ready to go. This will be lethal from this range, and that's going to be a GG's. Well played to my opponent. Really nice catch attempt there, and I was honestly kind of nervous because I thought they were going to get to the Poison Fang and I was going to lose, but either way, GG's. Into the next one, up against a Dragonair lead. So we talked about this. We got to tap on through. We don't throw the Avalanche immediately, and look at that. We got 2 free turns. We got the entire Powder Snow through, and that's going to give us the advantage. We need to be able to win this in the 1 shield scenario. So going to be building up, throwing before I'm at the back-to-back. If you go to the back-to-back, it's a little bit like obvious, easy for them to catch. And I will be throwing immediately here because like most things aren't going to want to eat a Shadow Piloswine Avalanche anyways. And like we don't want them to get to the Dragon Tail. So coming in with Dusclops now. We know this will only be an Aqua Tail. I should be able to Hex down from this range, to be honest. Leave with a ton of energy if they stay in. But they do swap out. It's another Golbat. Everybody bringing their Golbat into Dusclops thinking, yeah, I'm going to Shadow Ball, but they don't really think about, oh, we're going to get hit with these Ice Punches and they're going to hurt. They are actually going to hurt into a Golbat. So they're going to be throwing here. Honestly, watching this back, I was like, are they out of Shadow Ball? But they were. So we just shielded up, easy shield, going to be throwing the next Ice Punch here. It won't be lethal. We will be able to get the Hex down here. And we'll see if they want to come back in with that Dragonair, or do we see their final Pokemon? Going to be, really waiting out the switch clock. It is the Dragonair going for the Hex down. But unfortunately, they do make it to another Aqua Tail. Again, Aqua Tail, not the greatest move, especially when it's non-stab. So we just tank it, and we're going to snipe with Piloswine. What's in the back? It's going to be an Ivysaur, able to... what's the fast move on this? Vine Whip us down, but we got Charjabug, which is going to be resisting all the grass type moves, doing neutral with X Scissors, and of course we have the Ice Punch ready to go on Dusclops. I didn't want to come in immediately and throw it and give them that extra farm, so I do come in with Charjabug, going to be throwing these X Scissors to try to get this thing as low as possible. They do need to be throwing these Sludge Bombs. Maybe a Power Whip is lethal from this range, but I'm pretty sure they're going to get to the second Sludge Bomb and the Power Whip at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw this next X Scissor. They are very low at this point, and they're going to be throwing here. And I'm like, you know what? They're not at the back-to-backs. That means we win. Pretty sure Dusclops would lose CMP to this thing, but since they are not at the back-to-backs, we're going to go ahead and just flex with the return. Make sure that this thing is KO'd. And that's going to be GG's. Well played to my opponent. And that's going to be it for today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you leave that like. Let me know what you've been running in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my channel members for your support. And until next time, this is Chill FM reminding you to always keep pushing forward.